James Cameron's been catching a lot of heat lately for joining the board of an AI company called Stability AI, and of course people are upset, saying it's a betrayal of artists. You know, the whole generative AI debate, AI is going to replace artists, etc, etc. I don't think that's true. I actually see this completely differently. James Cameron is not the kind of person who would want to see AI replace artists. I believe he sees it as another tool for them to use in their craft. It's about expanding creative possibilities, not shutting them down, and here's a fun fact for you. The guys who created Photoshop actually worked on The Abyss. You know, the James Cameron movie, The Abyss. Now, imagine if we didn't have Photoshop today. Photoshop didn't replace artists, it became an essential tool for them. It's the same deal with AI, it's just the next evolution of giving more people access to creative power, levelling the playing field, and I think that's what James Cameron is all about. He's always been interested in letting technology serve creativity. This is the guy who literally his entire legacy is the intersection of art and tech. When we talk about James Cameron, we're talking about the guy who's always been on the cutting edge of technology. Like always. From Terminator to Avatar, this man is all about using the best tools available to push the boundaries of storytelling. And right now, the cutting edge of technology is AI. So it actually makes perfect sense to me that he'd be interested in AI. If you look at his entire career, it's all about exploring how technology can enhance creativity. He's never been about replacing humans with machines, whether it's in his films or in real life. In fact, just last year, Cameron said flat out he doesn't think that AI is going to replace human beings. There's even a clip where he's talking about it, and he clearly says that.
Some people call it instinct, but I think it's the most powerful form of human computation that we have. And by the way, anybody that's worried about AI being better than us, you can have a conversation with a chatbot, and it sounds kind of human, but it's an acre of processors pulling 10 to 20 megawatts. It probably weighs several thousand tons, and we're doing it with 3 pounds of meat. So when they have that kind of mobility, and maybe 20 watts, like a dim light bulb, when they have that kind of mobility and flexibility and ability to project our sensory and cognitive apparatus anywhere we want to go, anytime we want to go, then talk to me about who's superior.
I think a lot of people are jumping to negative conclusions because Jim is the creator of Terminator. And sure, it's kind of ironic that the guy who made Skynet famous, the AI in Terminator that destroys the world and fights humanity, is now involved with AI in real life. But it's important to understand, I think, that Cameron's actual stance is much more nuanced than just machines are bad, humans are good. I believe that he sees AI as a tool to enhance what we can create, not just as some villain that's going to wipe us out. Just like Photoshop democratized artistic ability in the sense of giving more tools to more people at a lower cost, I believe AI has the potential to do the same. It can give people who don't have access to Hollywood level resources the chance to tell their stories, and in a more effective way for those who are within the system. That's not wiping out artistry, that's empowering more people to be artists and giving people who are artists now even more tools to express themselves. At the end of the day, I think Cameron's involvement with AI is more about enabling the next generation of creators to do more, to get more out of the technology as he sees it, but not replacing anyone. He's been doing this in his entire career, pushing the limits of what's possible with technology, and AI is just the latest tool in that toolbox. I also understand that many of these models are trained using artists' work without their permission, and that is wrong. But James Cameron being on the board of a company like Stability AI gives him a much bigger voice and is able to advocate for the rights of artists, or even using models that are trained both on open source content or using artists who have explicitly given their permission for their art to be used in certain ways. If he didn't do this, then he'd be sticking his head in the sand and it would just continue on without him being there to advocate for artists. Remember, at the end of the day, he employs lots of very amazing artists that he's always advocating for, and he is an artist himself.